The imperial capital of the Varath sovereignty had been in mourning for 23 days. The mourning had the specific, accumulated quality of somewhere that had received the significant loss, and that was, in the receiving, present in the loss with the full quality of an empire doing the significant mourning, with the completeness the significant loss required. The banners at half position. The public addresses at the standard mourning intervals. The particular, patient quality of the imperial capital's 4 million residents doing what the significant loss required them to do with the honest, collective character of somewhere that understood the loss was real, and that the mourning was the real thing's appropriate response. Princess Lena Valn, the first heir, the beloved, the specific, complete quality of someone who had been the empire's future in the particular, genuine way of someone who had earned the being the future through the actual work. The frontier postings, and the command experience, and the specific, honest quality of someone who had been in the places the significant work required, and who had done the significant work with the quality it deserved, rather than the inherited position alone. Lost at the Battle of the Keth Margin's fourth engagement, the command vessel reported destroyed. The princess reported lost, 23 days of mourning. The imperial capital's gates at the 6th hour of the 24th day had the specific, quiet quality of the mourning's ongoing period. The morning watch doing the function with the professional quality of the morning watch doing the function. The gate's routine operational character, present in the way that the routine was present in the morning's active period. Doing what required doing with the complete quality it required. The watch commander saw him at the 6th hour's 4th minute. A human man, alone, on foot, coming from the direction of the deep margins transit corridor with the specific, particular quality of someone who had been traveling for a long time, and who was, in the arriving, still in the traveling's final phase. The last distance, the last effort, the specific quality of someone who had been doing the doing for a long time, and who was, in the final distance, giving the final distance the same quality as the first distance. He was carrying something. The watch commander's trained attention read the carrying quality with the professional quality of 7 years of the gate's function. The specific, particular quality of someone who had been carrying something for a significant distance, and who was, in the arriving, still carrying it with the full commitment of someone for whom the carrying was the function, and the function was not yet complete. The watch commander read what he was carrying. A person, a Varath woman. Wounded, the specific, visible quality of someone who had been in the conditions that wounds were produced in. The field treatments binding visible at the left side with the particular quality of emergency medical care rather than the medical section's standard care. The watch commander read the woman's face. The watch commander had been at the imperial capital's gates for 7 years. The watch commander knew the princess's face. The watch commander said, with the full quality of someone who was in the significant thing and who was, in the being, doing what the significant thing required without the deliberation the doing did not have time for. Open the gates. The gates opened. Rail Dorn walked through them. He was 36 years old, an Accord independent salvage and recovery operative, and he walked through the imperial capital's gates with the quality of someone who had been doing the function for a long time, and who was, in the walking through, giving the function's final stage the same complete quality as the function's every other stage. Not the performed arrival, the specific, honest quality of someone completing the function with the full quality the function required in its final moment, as in its first. He walked to the gate's interior receiving area. He identified the medical station with the engineer's efficient assessment. The specific, practical quality of someone who had assessed the space, and who was, in the assessing, finding the appropriate destination with the honest efficiency of the assessment. He set the princess down. He set her down with the specific, careful quality of someone who understood that the setting down required the complete quality of the carrying's final stage. The careful quality, the particular attention to the wound's position and the surface's quality, and the transition from the carrying to the resting with the full care the transition required. He said to the watch commander and the medical personnel who had arrived with the alert professional quality of the Imperial Court's response system, doing what the response system was built to do. She needs the medical function. The wound in the left side is the primary concern. The field treatment has held for 11 days, but the field treatment is not the medical function's replacement. The secondary concerns are the dehydration and the extended exposure. He paused. She is stable. She has been stable for 8 days, the field treatment held. The medical personnel received this with the professional quality of the medical function beginning. The immediate, comprehensive quality of the Imperial Court's medical capability, applied to the primary concern with the full quality the primary concern required. The watch commander looked at him. "You are human," the watch commander said. "Yes," he said. "You carried the princess through the gates," the watch commander said. "Yes," he said. "From where?" the watch commander said. He looked at the deep margin's direction. "The Keth margin's fourth engagement's aftermath," he said. "The recovery site, the command vessel's wreckage." He paused. 23 days from the engagement's date to today. The watch commander looked at him. "The command vessel was reported destroyed," the watch commander said. "The command vessel was destroyed," he said. "The princess was not on the command vessel when it was destroyed." The watch commander was quiet. "Tell me," the watch commander said. He told it. He told it with the recovery operative's quality, the specific, methodical quality of someone documenting the recovery, with the honest, complete account that the recovery's documentation required. Not the dramatic telling, the functional telling. The particular, honest quality of someone who was giving the account because the account was what the situation required, and who was, in the giving, providing the complete quality the account deserved. He had been in the Keth margin 3 weeks ago. The recovery work, the specific, practical function of the independent operative in the conflict zone's post-engagement space, the salvage assessment, and the wreckage documentation, and the particular, unglamorous quality of the work that existed in the aftermath of the significant events, and that required the doing with the resources available and the knowledge 9 years had built. He had been in the deep margin's outer reach when the distress beacon had produced the signal. The distress beacon had the specific, automated quality of something designed to transmit until the transmission was received. The particular, patient quality of the emergency system doing the emergency function, with the completeness the emergency function required regardless of whether the transmission was being received. He had received it. He had processed the signal's content with the recovery operative's trained attention, the origin point and the beacon's classification, and the specific operational quality of what the beacon's classification communicated about the situation at the origin point. He had gone to the wreckage. The command vessel had been destroyed in the specific, devastating quality of the engagement's worst outcome. The vessel's primary systems gone, the command section fragmented, the wreckage spread across the engagement site's outer margin with the particular character of something that had been thoroughly destroyed by the engagement's conditions. He had read the wreckage with the 9 years quality, the specific, comprehensive reading of the destruction's character and the wreckage's distribution and the particular, honest assessment of what the wreckage contained. The secondary section. The command vessel's emergency separation protocol had activated in the engagement's final phase. The specific, automated quality of the vessel's safety system, doing what the safety system was designed to do when the primary vessel's destruction was the imminent condition. The secondary section's emergency integrity had held in the specific, limited way of something designed to hold for the emergency duration. Not indefinitely, the emergency duration, the particular finite quality of something that had been built for the finite holding rather than the extended holding. He had found the princess in the secondary section. She had been alive. Wounded, the left side, the specific impact quality of the engagement's debris rather than the directed weapon. The particular, honest assessment of something that was serious and survivable in the specific conditions of the appropriate medical function. And that was, in the absence of the appropriate medical function, the specific, urgent concern that the recovery required addressing. She had been unconscious. The secondary section's emergency life support had been in its final operational hours. He had done the recovery function. He had transferred her to his recovery vessel with the specific, methodical quality of someone who understood the wound's character and who was, in the understanding, doing the immediate medical function with the resources available. The field treatment, the cleaning and the binding, and the specific, practical quality of the recovery operative's emergency medical capability, applied to the wound's requirements with the complete quality the application required. The stabilization, the life supports transfer to the recovery vessel's functional systems. She had stabilized. She had regained consciousness at the 3rd day. At the 4th day, the complications had begun. The complications had the specific, operational quality of the deep margin's aftermath, the enemy forces search pattern, the particular professional quality of the Keth margin's hostile presence in the engagement's aftermath, conducting the sweep of the engagement site with the thorough, Methodical quality of people who understood that the engagement's aftermath contained recoverable assets, and who were, in the understanding, doing the sweep with the complete quality the recovery of significant assets required. The princess was a significant asset. He had understood this with the recovery operative's honest assessment. He had also understood, with the same honest assessment, that the recovery vessel's profile in the deep margin's active search pattern was the specific, vulnerable quality of a small vessel in the space where the search pattern was the dominant operational presence, and that the vulnerable quality required the specific, methodical response of someone who understood the deep margin's character, and who was, in the understanding, navigating the character with the resources available and the knowledge the 9 years had built. He had used the knowledge, 3 weeks, the indirect approach, the specific, patient quality of someone moving through the deep margin's active search pattern with the honest, methodical quality of someone who understood the search pattern's coverage and character, and who was, in the understanding, doing the navigation that produced the outcome the navigation was for. Not the dramatic quality, the functional quality, the particular honest character of someone doing the work required with the resources available, and the sufficient reason the work deserved. The watch commander looked at him when the account concluded. 3 weeks, the watch commander said. Yes, he said. The navigation required the time the navigation required. The direct route's coverage by the search pattern made the direct route the approach that would have produced the discovery. The indirect approach required the 3 weeks. You navigated the Keth margin's active search pattern, the watch commander said, for 3 weeks, with the wounded princess aboard. Yes, he said. The recovery function required the navigation. The navigation was the function. The watch commander looked at him with the full quality of 7 years of reading the significant thing, the imperial capital's gates. Your name, the watch commander said, the complete record. Rail Dorn, he said. Accord Independent Salvage and Recovery Operative, 9 years of the recovery function. The assignment records are in the Accord's Independent Operative Network's documentation. You will remain, the watch commander said. The Imperial Court will require the complete account. Yes, he said, I know. He looked at the medical station. She is stable, he said. The field treatment held. She will require the medical function's complete quality, but the immediate concern is the wound's professional assessment and the treatment's appropriate continuation. Yes, the watch commander said. Our medical personnel are performing the assessment. He looked at the capital's interior. The morning's quality was present in the capital, the specific, accumulated quality of 23 days of the significant loss present in the space's character, the banners and the quiet, and the particular, patient quality of somewhere in the active morning. She knew, he said quietly. In the recovery vessel, the deep margin's communication traffic, she knew the capital was in the morning's active period. Yes, the watch commander said. For 23 days, he said, she knew. Yes, the watch commander said. He was quiet for a moment with the quality of someone who had been in the 3 weeks, and who was, in the capital's space, in the aftermath of the 3 weeks, with the full quality of someone giving the aftermath the honest attention it deserved. The navigation required the time the navigation required, he said. Yes, the watch commander said, I understand. The Imperial Court's response had the specific, complete quality of an empire doing the significant thing with the full quality, the significant thing required. The medical function's priority, the immediate, comprehensive quality of the imperial medical capability, applied to the primary concern with the completeness the primary concern deserved. The court's assembly, the senior officials and the military command and the institutional apparatus, all doing what the framework was built to do. The morning's transition, the specific, gradual quality of somewhere moving from the losses quality to the returns quality, with the honest, patient character of somewhere that understood both qualities were real. Rail Dorn had been conducted to the court's reception quarters. He had been given the medical assessment, the specific, professional quality of the Imperial Court's medical personnel, confirming the field treatment's adequacy, and the recovery operative's own condition after 3 weeks in the deep margin. He had waited. The court's senior counsel arrived at the 2nd hour. The senior counsel had the specific, 20-year quality of someone who had been reading the Imperial Court's significant situations for 20 years, and who was, in the reading, present in the current significant situation with the full quality of the professional assessment, applied to something that 20 years had not previously produced in quite this form. "The court requires the complete account," the senior counsel said. "Yes," he said. He gave it. He gave it with the recovery operative's quality, the specific, methodical, complete quality of someone who documented the recovery with the honesty and the thoroughness the documentation required. The distress beacon and the wreckage and the secondary section, and the princess in the specific condition the discovery had found her in, and the field treatment, and the stabilization and the recovery vessel, and the 3 weeks navigation. The senior counsel listened with the full quality of 20 years professional attention. "The search pattern," the senior counsel said, 3 weeks. "Yes," he said. "The princess," the senior counsel said, "present in the recovery vessel for 3 weeks. "Yes," he said, "conscious from the 3rd day." "And in the 3 weeks," the senior counsel said, with the particular quality of someone who was asking a question that the question's framing did not fully contain. He looked at the senior counsel. "The function," he said, "the navigation and the field treatment's maintenance and the recovery vessel's operational requirements." "Yes," the senior counsel said, "the function." "Yes," he said. The senior counsel looked at him with the 20 years quality. "Yes," the senior counsel said, "I imagine it was." The princess's medical assessment concluded at the 4th hour. She was stable, the specific, confirmed quality of the imperial medical function's complete assessment, confirming the field treatment's adequacy and the wound's healing trajectory, and the recovery's prognosis. She asked for the court's senior counsel at the 5th hour. The senior counsel went. The senior counsel returned at the 7th hour with the specific, particular quality of 20 years of the professional assessment having been applied to the 5th through 7th hour's content, and having produced something that the 20 years had not previously encountered in quite this form. The senior counsel looked at Rael Dorn. "The princess has given her account," the senior counsel said. "Yes," he said. "The princess's account contains the engagement's aftermath and the discovery and the field treatment and the 3 weeks," the senior counsel said. "The princess's account also contains additional content." He looked at the senior counsel. "Additional content," he said. "Yes," the senior counsel said. "The princess's account of the 3 weeks contains the specific, particular quality of someone who was present in the 3 weeks and who was, in the being present, building the complete picture of the person conducting the navigation." The senior counsel paused. "The account is thorough." "How thorough?" he said. 20 years of the imperial court's function," the senior counsel said. 20 years of significant accounts. The princess's account of the 3 weeks in the recovery vessel has the specific, particular quality of an account that is, the accurate word is complete. He looked at the senior counsel. "The function," he said. "The navigation and the field treatment and the operational requirements." "Yes," the senior counsel said. And also, the senior counsel's words, not the princess's, the specific, accumulated quality of 3 weeks of the honest space. The recovery vessel, the deep margins navigation, the 2 people in the recovery vessel's functional space for 3 weeks. He was quiet for a long time. "What did the princess say?" he said, specifically. The senior counsel looked at him. The princess said, "Tell him the court has heard the account. Tell him the court's gratitude is the complete gratitude of an empire for the person who brought the princess home." The senior counsel paused, and, "Tell him I would like to speak with him. When he is ready, not the court's formal reception, the honest space." He looked at the senior counsel. "The honest space," he said. "Yes," the senior counsel said, "the princess's words." He went at the 8th hour. The medical section had the specific, functional quality of the imperial court's medical care, the professional quality of somewhere doing the medical function, with the completeness the function deserved. The princess was in the private room with the quality of someone in the healing's active phase, and who was, in the active phase, present in the specific, alive quality of someone who had been in the conditions that required the healing, and who was, in the not being in those conditions, anymore, present in the not being with the full quality the not being deserved. She looked at him when he entered. She looked at him with the full quality, not the princess's formal quality, not the imperial heir's institutional register. The specific, underneath quality of someone who had been in the recovery vessel for 3 weeks, and who was, in the medical section's private room, looking at the person who had been in the recovery vessel with her with the full quality of the 3 weeks knowing. "You look different," she said. "The capital," he said. "The formal reception, the court's accommodation." "No," she said. "You look the same, the capital is different." He looked at her. "You look better," he said. than the wreckage's secondary section. The field treatment held, she said. Yes, he said. You told me it would, she said. I told you on the 7th day, he said, when you asked. You had been telling me it was holding since the 4th day, she said. The holding's quality improved by the 7th day, he said. The 7th day's assessment was the more confident assessment. Yes, she said. I know, I watched you check it every morning. He was quiet. The function required the monitoring, he said. Yes, she said. The function. She looked at him with the full quality. The senior counsel gave you my message. Yes, he said. The honest space, she said. Yes, he said. She looked at the medical section's room. The recovery vessel was the honest space, she said. He looked at her. 3 weeks, she said. The deep margins navigation, the recovery vessel's functional space. The function and the function's monitoring, and the specific, particular quality of the honest space that the 3 weeks produced in the being. He looked at her. The function was the function, he said. Yes, she said, and also the 3 weeks. The specific, accumulated quality of 3 weeks in the honest space with someone who did the function, because the function required doing. And who was, in the doing, simply present in the doing without the performed quality of someone doing the significant thing for someone significant. He looked at her. You are significant, he said. The first heir, the princess. In the recovery vessel, she said. I was the wounded person who needed the field treatment and the life support and the navigation. The significance was not the complete picture. He looked at her. The complete picture, he said. Yes, she said. The complete picture was the wounded person and the recovery operative and the 3 weeks and the honest space. She looked at him. The significance was one part of the complete picture. The honest space was the other part. He was quiet for a long moment. Tell me what the account contained, he said. The additional content, the complete version. She looked at him with the full quality of the 3 weeks. The wounded person and the recovery vessel and the deep margins navigation, and the field treatment checked every morning and the honest space built across the 3 weeks. The account contained the 6th day, she said. He was quiet. The 6th day, he said. The search pattern's nearest approach, she said. The recovery vessel's operational silence requirement. The specific, compressed quality of the search pattern at the nearest approach, and the particular, demanding conditions, and the honest quality of someone managing the compressed conditions, with the full quality of someone who had been doing this for 9 years. Yes, he said. I watched you on the 6th day, she said. The specific, complete quality of someone in the function's most demanding moment doing the function with the same quality as the function's least demanding moment. She looked at him. The same quality. The 6th day and the 3rd day and the 11th day, the same quality. He looked at her. The consistent quality, he said. Yes, she said. 9 years of the recovery function had built the consistent quality. The 6th day was the consistent quality at its most visible, the demanding conditions and the same quality present in the demanding conditions as in the ordinary ones. She paused. The account contained the 6th day. And, he said, and the 18th day, she said. He looked at her. The 18th day, he said. The communication signal, she said. The deep margins traffic contained the imperial capital's communication, the morning's 18th day public address. He was very quiet. You heard it, he said. Yes, she said. You did not know I was awake. The signal's quality woke me at the 3rd hour. The monitoring check was the 4th hour. I was awake at the 3rd hour and I heard the public address. He looked at her. I heard the morning's quality, she said. The address's content, the empire's 18th day of the significant loss. She paused. And I heard at the address's conclusion, when you thought I was asleep, the specific, particular quality of someone in the recovery vessel's navigation section managing the 18th day's knowledge. He was very quiet. Managing it, he said. Yes, she said. The same quality, the 18th day and the morning's knowledge and the same quality as the 6th day and the 3rd day and every other day. She looked at him. The account contained the 18th day. He looked at the medical section's room, and the capital outside, and the empire, and the 23 days of mourning, and the 8th hour, and the honest space. The senior counsel said the account was complete, he said. Yes, she said, the account was complete. The additional content, he said. Yes, she said, the 3 weeks' content. The 6th day and the 18th day, and the consistent quality, and the honest space, and the specific, accumulated quality of 3 weeks of watching someone do the function with the honest quality of the function. Without the performed quality, without the calculation of what the doing might produce, without the institutional awareness of who the wounded person was and what the bringing home might mean. He looked at her. The field treatment, he said. The navigation, the operational requirements. Yes, she said, and the morning checks, and the 6th day, and the 18th day, and the consistent quality through all of it. She looked at him. The account contained all of it. He was quiet for a long moment. He looked at her with the full quality of 9 years of the recovery work, and 3 weeks of the navigation, and the 6th day, and the 18th day, and the specific, honest quality of someone who was in the significant thing, and who was, in the being, giving the significant thing the honest attention it deserved. Lena, he said. Her name in the Accord's personal register, not the princess's formal designation, not the first heir's institutional address. The name in the register of the recovery vessel, and the 3 weeks, and the 6th day, and the 18th day, and the honest space. She looked at him. Rail, she said. His name in the Varath personal register, not the recovery operative's designation, not the person who brought the princess home. The name in the register of the honest space. He looked at her. The court, he said. The empire, the return. Yes, she said. The significant context, he said. Yes, she said. The first heir's return, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at her. And the honest space, he said. She looked at him. The honest space, she said, is present in the medical section's private room, the same honest space as the recovery vessel. He looked at her. The same quality, he said. Yes, she said. The same quality. He was quiet for a moment. The recovery vessel's return, he said. The function's completion, the carrying through the gates. Yes, she said. The function is complete. He looked at her, and after the function, he said. She looked at him with the full, complete quality. The 3 weeks, and the 6th day, and the 18th day, and the consistent quality, and the honest space. And the name said in the honest space's register, and the significant context real, and the honest space also real. The honest space continues, she said, for as long as the honest space continues. He looked at her. Both real, he said. Yes, she said. The significant context and the honest space both real. Yes, he said. Outside the medical section, the imperial capital was in the specific, alive quality of the morning's transition. The 23 days of the significant loss, giving way to the return's quality, with the particular honest character of somewhere that understood both the loss's reality and the return's reality. And that was, in the understanding, present in the transition with the full quality the transition required. The empire doing what the empire did. The institutional framework's complete quality applied to the significant occasion. Inside the medical section's private room, the recovery operative and the first heir were in the specific, genuine quality of the honest space. The space that the wreckage's secondary section, and the distress beacon, and the field treatment, and the 3 weeks, and the deep margins navigation, and the 6th day, and the 18th day, and the consistent quality, and the name in the honest space's register had built. Not the significant context alone, not the empire and the return and the morning's transition and the institutional framework's complete quality. The honest space, where the consistent quality was real, where the 6th day and the 18th day were real, where the field treatment had held and the morning checks had been the morning checks, and the navigation had required the time the navigation required, and the function had been the function, where the name was said, in the register of the genuine thing, which was, as the 9 years and the 3 weeks and the distress beacon, and the wreckage and the secondary section, and the field treatment, and the navigation, and the 6th day and the 18th day, and the consistent quality and the honest space had always been building toward, exactly where the function led when it was done with the quality it deserved, and the sufficient reason it required. The function complete, the honest space present, both real together.